Hey, listen, it's Friday afternoon and I am a hot mess. I'm tired and I'm done. But I wanted to help you out because I know that we didn't get a chance to do some of those kind of hairy problems back in the back of the stuff that we did today or Thursday if you were in yesterday's class. So on the summation page, I wanted to go over with you for sure how the last two are going to work. I'll probably do the first one with you. But then I also wanted to kind of show you a little trick that you can do as far as number 9 goes, maybe even number 11, okay? So let's go ahead. Let's start with number 9. But I kind of wanted to show you a quick little trick that could potentially help you kind of keep things organized and keep things organized in your head, if that makes any sense. So what we're going to be doing is expanding that summation, right? So you have to write all of the terms out. So the terms from the first term up to the 5th term, right? Because this is where you start and this is where you end. But sometimes it helps to not have to do all of that math up in your head. And sometimes you can just do it faster if you write it all down. So that's what I'm going to do. If I plug in a 1, I know I'm going to get 1 squared plus 1. Okay, if I do a 2, I'm going to get 2 squared, which is 4, plus 2. Then 3 squared plus 3. You see how that kind of worked? 4 squared plus 4. And then 5 squared plus 5. And so just by writing those out, now I can go through and figure out what the actual terms are that I'm going to add together. Okay, so I'm going to add 2 and 6. 12, 20, and 30, okay? And that should give me an answer. And yes, I'm totally looking at the answer key because I'm a hot mess and I don't feel like figuring it out. So 70. Okay, so sometimes, again, just kind of like writing out the math helps you come up with it a little bit faster. That's all, okay? All right, number 11, I just wanted to show you this idea again, help you kind of get into that idea. The reason I wanted to do number 11 is because it starts with 2 and ends at 6. So it's not starting at n equals 1, but it's starting at n equals 2. So if I plug in a 2, okay, I'm going to get 4 minus 1. So 2 squared is 4. Then I'm going to do 3 squared, and so 9 minus 1. 4 squared minus 1. 5 squared minus 1, and then 6 squared minus 1. And again, sometimes it just helps. It goes faster to write it down. So these terms are 3, 8, 15, 24, and 35. And if you add all that together, you should get an 85. Okay? All right, here's how number 12 and 13 work. So hopefully you're writing this down or pausing and putting it down so that you can get some free problems. But here's how these work. So the order of operations, right? You're used to seeing, this, right? This PEMDAS thing, this idea, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, where it's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. This is, the summation is kind of its own entity by itself. And so you're technically doing 3 times this summation, okay? You're doing 3 times that whole thing. So let's go figure that out, okay? So we're going to do 3 times, again, starting with term 4 and going to term 8. So if I put a 4 here, 4 minus 4 is 0, so I'm going to do 0 squared. If I put a 5 here, I'm going to get 4 minus 5, which is negative 1 squared. 6 is going to be negative 2 squared. 7 is negative 3 squared. And then 8 is negative 4 squared. Okay, so those terms are, and again, I'm going to do 3 times that when I get done, but those terms are 0, 1, 4, 9, and 16. And so that summation, when I add all of those together, 20, 30, okay, and then 3 times 30 is going to be 90. Okay, so that's how that works. That's what that looks like. So keep in mind, when you go to do these two, you've got to have all that work written out, right? You're expanding the whole thing and figuring out the sum. Okay, again, shoot me an email if you guys have any questions.